More BCA matches. Welcome back. So, as I mentioned before, BCA format is a race to two, or just two games actually, not even really a race to two. Two games against each opponent, and I'm playing against a new team. We're still working our way through the season, so all the opponents on this team were new to me. I've seen them around, I guess, not entirely new to me. I've seen them like at other locations where I've played APA, but changed up my break a little bit. Notice I'm breaking from the rail, kind of like closed bridge on the rail, striking down on the cue ball a little bit. Gives me a little bit of a pop. Feels like I have good control, and I'm not hammering them. Making a ball pretty consistently. It is rack your own, which is nice. So basically here, first game of the night, just trying to get a feel for the table. I had not warmed up on this table, and it is the tricky part about this format because the matches are so short, and oftentimes you're switching from one table to another. You don't always have time to fully get a feel for the table. I felt pretty comfortable here though. And like I've mentioned, I've started to think more about kind of shortening my form. Do not want to be shooting over the five. But this felt pretty natural. I wanted to kind of be in here. Obviously, you don't want to cross the shot line on the three. You're wanting to draw off the three and get back above the four. And I remember this strike. I really let up on it. But I think, again, that's just a function of not really having a good feel for the speed of the table. I could still make something happen here. I ideally wanted to get reasonably straight on the four so that I could be straight on the five and then draw back down for the seven or something like that. But in this case, actually, getting above the five and using the five in the side to come down to the seven could work out better. But you got to pocket the four. So that one was a little funky, maybe some skid involved because it was a really thin cut at a slow speed. And I leave an open shot here for Robert. Not sure there if he was like indicating where he wanted to come into the rail. I'm always fascinated by like how players will telegraph their intentions. So good contact with the four, ended up sort of drifting out, and has a long, fairly straight shot on the five. Something I'll talk about in the BCA videos from this particular week is because I've tightened the home pockets. These just feel massive, and so you can manipulate the object ball and just send it to so many different places in the pocket. So he makes a good shot on the five, but the position's tough. I mean, never going to be guaranteed there unless you really put a big stroke on it and dig in, maybe, with very low, like a lot of draw to try to get back down for the seven. So he's in a tough spot. It doesn't bank past the 10. I would probably think about going safe here unless the bank looked good to bring it back up to where his, yeah. I don't think that's a bad call. I think you just need to make sure that you hit this at the right angle, and then you're pretty likely to have the cue ball come around and get some kind of look at the 8. We do play at this location that's very close to the shuffleboard. It's on this side. And the league operator warned us about that. Like, don't be knocking over the shuffleboard, people. And this particular night wasn't as chaotic as some of the APA nights that I've had. If you've been with the channel for a while, you know which video I'm talking about. But still tough. I mean, they love their shuffleboard. So the 7 rolled out to a shot. I think we just cut this in and come out and around for the 8. You do have to manipulate this a little bit. Although sort of a natural stunning cue ball would come out and around, I believe, and give you a wide angle on the 8. I think I opt for just sort of rolling this in, maybe just a dash of outside here. Pretty natural rolling ball, but did want a bit more out of that. Luckily, the table's rolling fairly smooth, so pretty fast. We still have a workable angle on the 8. And this would be the kind of shot where you could consider coming out and around. You really don't want to bring the, lower corner into play. It's a lot of movement for the cue ball. If you're me, and I'm just going to use inside because I love inside, and I'm going to fight the natural path of the cue ball because that's a really great thing to do. And just tighten it up to get, it's going to bring us close to the 9, most likely, but I'm just going to try to kill it on the short rail. Yeah. Thin cut on the 8, some inside. Played it clean. Center of the pocket. So much pocket. And close to my work here, but again, this is totally fine. I can shoot the 9 basically into here, and it's going to bank in. It's basically a bank shot at that point, just to drift the cue ball out a little bit and get cuter on the 10. Yeah, look at the ball, like wobbled in, but got pretty good on the 10. Got that first one. They go so quick. I like it. It's like I said, it's a mix. I like it and I don't. The Fargo scores have still not updated. So I'm still a 547 or something, whatever it was. What am I, 574? Something low, in my estimation, 547. And that's from like stuff that happened last year. I don't know. There's nothing new. League operator is aware of that and is going to work on it. I think he said something about having submitted the scores, but they're not updating. So we'll figure it out. Hopefully it's not another BCA snafu. I will tell that story at some point because it's a pretty good one. Meanwhile, we don't have a great option on the 1. Play safe here. Do we want to tuck behind the 8 or hide the 1 ball? I'm looking at hiding the 1 ball. I think, yeah. No, maybe I'm putting the cue ball down by the... Yeah, I'm going to try to get the cue ball down. Ugh. All right, well, that leaked out. Not great. I think the intention there was to sort of get the 5 past the 3 and onto the back side of the 5. Not a bad play. We didn't sell out anything easy unless the 1 goes off the 2 here. But there's a lot of congestion. I don't remember if he calls it or not. He's going to look at it. Tangent doesn't look like it's far off. If the 1 ball doesn't cut clean, he could probably play this off the 2. Yeah, I can't tell if he's calling it or not. He went safe. Oh, no, maybe he did. No, that's what it was. He called safe, but was second guessing himself about whether or not the 1 was going to go. I'm going to have to line up for this 3-5-9 combo, most likely. Getting different position on the 3. Try to play the 3 somewhere else, I mean, is not easy. I've been feeling comfortable just in terms of nerves and stuff going out for this league. It's interesting though. I always still, without exception, get some level of nerves about going out for league night. It was especially bad on that first week. This is the new team jitters sort of effect, but I have been much more comfortable. It's the process over results kind of thing because I've been getting good results this season. That's helping me relax. Oh, I missed that. Those are tough. You can't really relax on those combos. It looked like I was taking enough time though, like considering what was happening. He's got an edge on the 3 ball. But he gets on the bad side of the 3. And he just wants to kick this in. I don't mind this shot. Usually it's not advisable. You hear this a lot. If you have a clean look at the ball, don't risk missing it or scratching or something. So I think some players would just try to go safe from here. But, oh, almost goes. That's a very kickable ball. I think the only other consideration for Robert in that situation was, hey, I don't just want to make the 3 because look where we end up. You could end up hooked. You want to make the 3 and get back out. So think about it in terms of it being a 2-railer potentially. Go into the short rail and then into the 3 and then up. It's still risky. Safe was probably highest percentage. I was looking at the 3-5. I don't want to have to do that. I think I'd rather, yeah, can we thin the 3 and just send the cue ball up table? Maybe leave the 3 behind the 5 and the 6. I was trying to get him behind the 8. That's not awesome. That didn't turn out great. Give him an open look at the 3. Not super strong. If he gets good shape on the 4, which is basically just a rolling cue ball, I mean, it's going to want to go down here, and then you can play the 4 on the side. You really don't have to... Yeah, he got pretty good on that. So he's kind of steep on the 4, but it's still workable. It's a thin cut. I might be tempted to just go for this to try to make the 4 come across. Open up the stroke a little bit. You have so much table, right? You'd be really unlikely to get blocked by the 6 anywhere in here. You're going to have a look at the 5. So honestly, the out and back, you don't have to worry about that. Just focus on making the 4 ball here, and you should be fine. Oh, he went for the bank. I forgot about that. You blocked me again. Okay. Make me work for it. 5 still goes. There's no trouble here. I just have to... It's a big jump. I wouldn't really want to have to jump over the 5 and the 7. I think I could. I haven't, I should do that. I should do that, guys. I should get on the practice table and see what my jump distance is. Because I have a good feel for closer distance, mid-distance jumps. I don't think I see a lot of pros jumping at this distance unless they're on a 9-footer. Meanwhile, we have to make some kind of good hit on the 4. I don't know about making it. The 1 rail this way is blocked by the 10, I believe. And or the 6. This sort of kick is fine. What I'm looking at here is the 2 rail. Risky though, because it looks like I'm coming into the point. I'm calling inside. I must be thinking that I can get into sort of the back side of the 4, the left side of the 4. Yeah, I hit the point. Still gonna get it. That's fine. It's ball in hand shape for him basically, but little bit of luck. He has to decide where the 5 ball is going. If you just pinch back and play the 5 in the bottom left, the shape on the 6 could be complicated by the 7, so probably the best play is to get down below the 5. He did want to stay above it. That could be fine. He's on the back side of the 5, and so just sort of stunning out for the 6 could work. Yeah, I think if Robert stays level and gets good on the 6, he takes the second game. Oh, maybe was thinking too much about the 6. Don't get weird on me. I remember this shot. I wish I had a different camera angle on this shot. This one was funky. This is a very thin back cut, and the side pocket felt huge. I'm also very close to the 7, and obviously don't want to run into that. So I'm just looking at my tangents here. You want to come into the long rail, very thin. This is part of where cheating the pocket, just manipulating that angle, comes into play. How thin do I want to go into the 5? How much of this rail do I want to contact? And that's taking up most of my bandwidth. I'm not really going to be able to think about exactly where I want to end up on the 6. I know that it's sending me across. I know that I might be able to get down table a little bit. This is touchy. Nice. And it got down table farther than I thought it would looking at it now. But my composure there felt really good. I was able to sort of breathe through it and control this. I was like, hey, this is the game. These long straighten shots, like I've mentioned, they feel really good. And I know that I'll hit those pure most of the time. So I'll just level out. I stayed pretty full on the 6. You could see that I played it kind of full to the left side of the pocket to make sure I'm holding for the 7. This one I'm just rolling through it for the 8. Little bit of spin just to encourage it past the 10. Don't want to mess with that. And options here, right? You basically play a stop shot and you can play this 10 in the side. I don't love the side pockets on valley tables because sometimes you'll play it into that far point and it'll just spit it out. So I am probably going to play shape into here. Longer form on that one, I notice. Still don't really have the speed of this one dialed in, so that gets away from me a little bit, but I'm not going to miss these anymore. Well, not anymore, but like I have done better with making these under pressure or money balls. And that does it. You saw the skid? You see the skid on that one? I need to be hitting those differently so that the skid doesn't get away from me. But yeah, that was game 2 with Robert. I hope you guys liked that one. These, like I said, these BCA matches have been really fun. Having a good time in that league. Just sort of short and sweet here for today. There's more coming. I got 2 more matches from that night, so stick around, and I will see you guys again soon.